Eti, do you remember the day when we purchased our first home?
I remember that. That was a very stressful time, but we worked hard building up to it. I remember we were renting condo for 1 year, and my mom was saying listen, we should look into purchasing. We didn't want to spend too much time and money into rent. So you had this, thought in your head that said, I'm buying a house. Vadim being the very driven person, I'm saying this from my perspective, you decided that this is how I'm going to come up with a down payment. And you started actually buying and reselling things on Kijiji, which was huge at the time because we didn't have the capital. We were both, I was still a student, you were working in your business. Vadim started buying trailers up north, bringing them here to Toronto area and reselling them for a profit. Because here everything sells a little bit more.
I also remember the number of how many trailers I have done. 103.
103 trailers.
In 1 year, generating $60,000 in profit to allow us for 10% deposit on a first home.
This was back in the good days when you could have 10% deposit for first-time buyers.
Was it 2016?
2015.
2015.
Yeah, we moved in 2015.
Time flies.
And so we didn't have any capital. We didn't have, nobody gave us the money. We just worked hard, saved up. I was working 3 jobs to pay for our life plus school. And every single penny that you made off those trailers went to a separate bank account. Nobody had access to it. It was a different bank that we even used.
Yeah, RBC.
And we did not touch it for, how long did it take? About 9 months? Yes, because we moved in, you started about 3 months into the condo lease for 1 year, and it took us 9 months. So we just, buying and selling. So it wasn't even from our personal jobs or income that we actually were able to save down payment.
It was a side hustle.
It was a side hustle.
Everyone talks about, but we're actually doing it to save up enough funds to be able to buy something else.
And I think it's a big social media thing, like side hustle, having a side hustle. Sometimes the side hustle may become your main hustle, may not, but it's a way, it's means to get you to the next step of what you want to do.
Absolutely.
And those with 60K that we set up with over 100 trailers, buying and selling, restoring them, and selling them for a profit. And that's how we bought it.
And I just remember those moments when February, I'm outside trying to negotiate on the trailer.
Oh my God.
This is the memories that truly I remember like it was just yesterday.
In the cold winter, fixing lights, cleaning, make sure it looks good, taking good pictures. That was...
And if you remember, I didn't even have parking lot to store those trailers. So I was using Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart to store the trailers. I was using their parking space to just go in, resell the trailer to someone random on Kijiji, and then by saving up.
And that's kind of the lesson. If there's a will, there's a way. A lot of people say, okay, maybe I can qualify for something, but I can't get down payment. There's ways. You just have to find it. Gotta get creative.
And one of the things that I just remember like it was yesterday as well, I remember when we just moved into our first rental together.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And your mom kept on calling me saying, Vadim, you're flushing money down the toilet. She just kept on saying it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with rent, but at the same time, if you're looking for the next step, you have to make sure that you...
And it was such a cheap rent.
Yeah.
$1,400 for a 1+ den at North Park in Vaughan.
Yeah.
It was relatively inexpensive compared to today's market, but she found it to be a waste of money. And every time she would just keep on calling me. She liked us moving in together, but she didn't like us renting.
Yeah.
So she was just she made sure we know about it.
Yeah.
And it kept me motivated.
And you just had these ideas and you just have to find a way to do it.
That's it. So side hustle that can become your main hustle at some point.
Or not.
Or not.
Or just a way to get what you want, to get savings, whether, especially if it's an investment, because that townhouse was able to help us grow in the future and purchase the additional properties.
And if I can add one more thing as well, some people think it's such a big deal of buying a home, and it might be a big deal, but if you take it one step at a time, so let's say we knew that we needed to save 60K, which was a lot of money for us starting up and just kind of being part-time students and full-time students and so on. But it's just that I knew that we just need one step at a time towards the big goal. So the big goal was 60K, but we were saying, okay, like even if I make 400, 500, $1,000 each time, it adds up at the end of the day. That's the secret, and that's the key.
That's it.